Good evening, beautiful people. How are you all on this beautiful Friday? We're on day 9. How amazing has this time gone? It's gone so quick. I'm really excited about sharing day 9 with you on Bountiful Boundaries. It's something that has absolutely transformed my life, and I feel it's something that many of us aren't taught growing up. And it's something that is so effective at changing the way that you express yourself, in the way that you allow things in your energy field. And I'm just gonna flow with what's gonna come through around boundaries for me. So we've got a lot of different boundaries. We've got physical boundaries, whether that's with our body, whether that's through touch. We've got energetic boundaries. Energetic boundaries are something that, unless you're aware of your body, many don't actually notice that, or we ignore that subtle sign of, a funny feeling in our stomach, or feeling like tense in our back or our shoulders. And it's something that, as you can cultivate more awareness around your own boundaries, it creates a lot of support in how you hold yourself and how you hold your energy. I feel like it's rampant in our society of people constantly crossing boundaries. Also because we're not actually expressing what our boundaries are, whether that's through social media, whether that's through creating groups like this, whether that's in classrooms, whether that's in jobs, whether that's with family members. A lot of the time we're not actually feeling confident enough to set our own boundaries, and I always mirror that and reflect that back to, do you have strong boundaries within your own field and your own life? So are you setting boundaries within being on social media? If your boundaries aren't strong in consistently being able to incorporate things in your life, then generally they're going to be easily penetrated by others as well. So in creating boundaries, what it's taught me is it's like the true essence of stepping into my power and of my feminine essence. And I feel really, really confident when I'm able to step into that space. And the reason for that is it taps into your values. It taps into what feels good for you and what doesn't. And if someone crosses that, please don't do that, and being able to express yourself, which we're going to go into in a couple of days. But the effect that creating boundaries can have on your life is just phenomenal, whether that's boundaries around the times you work, whether that's boundaries around, again, social media. As I said, I'm switching off at 8 and starting at 8, and I don't take, like I said, I have clients message me at 11 o'clock at night sometimes. 11 o'clock. So I don't reply. I just don't reply. I don't reply till I'm back in working hours. So it's really simple actually, but we seem to find it really hard to actually put in effect. And yeah, I just wanted you to tune into, what are your boundaries like? How do you express that? How do people cross that boundary? Do you constantly feel like your energy is leaking, or people are constantly trying to get in? I said earlier in the week that I felt that many of you were feeling quite uncomfortable in this space of really tapping into this radical self-love, and it can be uncomfortable. I said we were going to go deep, and there was going to be lots of tears, and sometimes unknowingly we can cross other people's boundaries as well. And I realized in this space that I didn't set a couple of clear boundaries that I should have at the start. So I've learned a lot about boundaries even in this space, because this is a new space for me. So yeah, how do you actually put boundaries in effect? How do you express them? If someone crosses one of your boundaries unknowingly, are you able to actually speak up and go, no, that doesn't work for me, thank you? Like, the words no, thank you are so powerful. So powerful. Like, that's all you need to say sometimes. And as women, I feel like a lot of the time we think we need to explain ourselves, and the words no thank you are many, many times all that you actually need to say. So I'd love you to tune into as to what your boundaries are like in your own life, in your own energy field. Are you dropping your own boundaries all the time and allowing people to walk all over you? Like this is a big one for women, because a lot of the time we are dropping into victim, and which affects our self-worth, which then affects our self-care, and we fall into a heap, or we fall into overwhelm. And I personally learned that setting these boundaries, intentional boundaries, so like write a list of what boundaries you'd like to set in place, whether that's with your family, with your husband, with your partner, with your friends, with your social media, with your businesses or your business or your work, whatever it may be. Really tune into if there are boundaries that you would like to create, and then write them down, because we're going to go into expressing them as well, which is really powerful. But boundaries are when they're bountiful, when you can just stand so strong in your power, not coming from a place of power of destruction, but a power of like, no thank you. And a lot of the time once you get strong enough in your boundaries, like for me now, it's taken a lot of time, and like all good things, they take time, and it's flexing the boundary muscle. So like it's like a muscle, it's like everything, it's like all these days that we've done, it's like you got to flex the muscle. It's going to take time. So if you need to incorporate one at a time, then do one at a time. And yeah, if you want to set a boundary that your self-care is priority at this time to this time every day, then you do that. And you stick to that for yourself as well as everyone, because the world is constantly trying to penetrate our boundaries. Always. Always going to be like that. So what I've learned is the stronger my boundaries are, the less they're actually pushed. And the less people are trying to actually penetrate them or push me to manipulate or move it in a way to get what they want. And since standing strong in those, sometimes I can get a little bit complacent because I'm like, oh, I'm good. I'm standing strong in it. And then someone comes in and tests it. So be aware that your boundaries will be challenged. This is not something that is just like, oh yeah, I do it once. This is a constant process of life that you're going to be, if you're in business and you've got clients, like I've been in business 8 years in my salon, and people are constantly trying to push the boundaries. But if I'm constantly allowing them to push my boundaries, I'm going to burn out. If I'm constantly fitting them in when they want, no thank you. No thank you. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. I've got this time and this time. And it's not about being rude. It's not about having a tone that's disrespectful. It's just like, no thank you. And a lot of the time people don't know how to actually respond to no. They really don't. But that's okay. That's okay that they don't know how to respond to no. So just really tune into how effective your boundaries are, and if it's something that you need to work on. Another way you can work on it is, as I wrote in the poster, I use tea tree. It's really wonderful for energetic boundaries. I use it on the bottom of my feet every single day and in the salon. Especially if you're touching people, especially if you're working with people really closely. It's going to be constantly in your face that people are testing the boundaries. And yeah, I love playing with this. Like, make it fun. Like, and don't beat yourself up about it. If someone crosses a boundary, don't go into shame and guilt and low self-worth. Just go, bugger. I've learned that. I'm aware of that one now. And, learn from it and grow. Learn from it and be like, okay, I'm going to be more effective in setting it around that next time. Wasn't aware of that one. So, make it fun. Make it playful. This isn't meant to be hard. This is just the growth. This is the journey. And, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself and not take life so seriously. So, yeah, bountiful boundaries. It's tap into all the different parts you about, like boundaries with even money, like your spending habits. Do you have boundaries around that? like so many things you can actually incorporate it in on. Boundaries with kids, boundaries with partners, boundaries with friendships. Sometimes there's friendships that overstep the mark or that are constantly in your face. So yeah, tune into that and be really effective in how you set them for yourself and stick to them, because that will amplify in your life. When you've got a strong energetic boundary, people can't cross that because you don't allow them to. So work on building up your energy field. Work at visualizing. For those of you that are into meditation and visualization, work at expanding your energy field so your boundary is, about a meter out from your body. And the more you can visualize it being really strong, a meter outside your body, the stronger your boundaries are going to be, and people aren't going to be able to affect that, because generally when our boundaries are crossed or penetrated or overstepped, we go into emotion. We react. We react in emotion, and it's generally a outburst of emotion or an outburst of uncomfortability that ends in tears or anger or rage or grief or whatever it may be. So the stronger we can get our boundaries as women, the stronger we can build our self-worth, and the stronger we can build our self-love. How amazing is that? Okay, beautiful ones, I'm going to jump off and go and read outside before the sun sets. So I hope you have a beautiful Friday evening. I got a little bit late today because I had quite a beautiful day. And I will see you tomorrow for day 10. Mwah. Bye.